Hello everybody, Brook Waters, Linda and Margaret.
I have tea.
From Stickmen Media, continuing our series on developing our game After the Light, a zombie horror game.
No, I'm not going to shut the door. They've gone quiet.
No, very good.
Zombies in the corridor have gone quiet.
No cookies.
Go get a cookie then.
That's all right.
Easy solution.
I should probably just be here and actually talk to these guys now that we've started off. Today we're actually talking about rigging one of the weapons. So we're rigging the crossbow today.
And it's animation.
And animating. Oh, very good. So rigging and animating the crossbow. So we'll go over there and we'll let Linda start talking about rigging the crossbow.
Yes. So
sounds like a movie.
From the open the model file. Okay. And delete all the history, but obviously Sergi has already checked that, so I just need to copy the file from Sergi. And if you did the model, you before the rig, the very important thing is you need to delete the meshes history.
Mm-hmm. Now, deleting the history is important for why?
For clear the files, all those like history step and the some rubbish recording.
Yeah.
And also just keep
so it
the
reduces
file
the size.
Yes.
Reduces the or makes it faster to use.
Yes.
Because you're not rotating something that's built up of a chain of history.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now I just duplicate another mesh and separate all the parts. Is because it's better for me to check the about the crossbows different part.
Mm-hmm.
So if I select the part, I just need to click the different part, and I'm just the very important part is the bow and also for the string.
Okay. Yeah, so the bow's going to be doing a lot of flexing, going from straight to curved across the thing.
Yes.
The string's really only a 2-frame animation, isn't it? It's pulled way back and then it's... But,
yes.
But when you're winding it back, I guess you see it slowly deforming.
Yeah, and just like that, I just put some locator to just kind of like help me to know what kind of position I want to set my bones. For this weapon, because we could just set one side joints, and then after that we can mirror it for another side. That's the balls.
Okay.
Joints. And this one is for the middle, because we need a middle one to connect the both sides.
Yeah. So what did you think of the model? It was pretty impressive, wasn't it?
It's beautiful.
Yeah. I want one. I want one of these crossbows. They're
You
fantastic.
violent bastard.
Yeah, it's
Violent
just,
zombie shooting bastard.
yeah.
And we need to rename all the joints. It's a very good habit to just make your workflow good, and it's easy for you to pen the skin weight. Because if you didn't, if you don't rename all the joints, if there are plenty of them, it's hard to know where are them and and it's hard for you to choose them.
Yeah. So, yeah, once again, the importance of having a good naming convention
Yes.
means you can find your stuff, but more importantly, somebody else can find your stuff if they need
Yeah,
to
of
later.
course.
So, yeah. Well, not more importantly, but as important, that somebody else knows how to operate your model as well, your animation. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's good for you to rename it by the English name. Actually, when I work in China, and we always rename it as the Chinese Chinese pronunciation
okay.
to rename some stuff. If I keep using that, I think it's hard for
Yeah.
to read it.
It's not ideal.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, fun for you.
That's my special mark.
Right. Oh dear. Yes, we might have some issues with that in New Zealand.
Pronouncing Chinese stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually hard to get the tonal part of the language.
Well, not for Linda.
Oh no, but she's had some years of practice.
I know, she's quite clever at it.
We actually we have kind of like English language level for the Chinese language level because we speaking Mandarin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because for different area, actually our local language, we are writing the same words, but the pronunciation are quite different. So we learning Mandarin. So for some students, for some like me, I want to learning for a primary school teacher. So I need to pass kind of like a level for the Mandarin.
Okay.
And I got just like a level 2 and B. And the interesting thing is my father are also teacher, but his Mandarin were terrible. He also need to pass that one.
So
wow.
what did he speak natively? Was it Cantonese or something?
No, it's just our
Dialect.
yes.
Okay.
So he just but for those old teacher, they just need just not very seriously to do that one. So he just got his result like level 2A. So he's quite proud to show me.
Yeah, I would say. Funny.
Yes. Okay, back to here. Sorry for that. I just remember one thing. So, still set or different parts of joints for the cylinder. I don't know how to call it.
The drum? Yep. We were calling it the drum, but I suppose it's still a cylinder. Yeah.
And I just set that joint to rotate it. And for the trigger, right?
Trigger?
Trigger.
Yeah.
Yes. Trigger. Yeah. And again, just each time when we have some new models, it's very good time to learn some new words.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
I was saying to Sergi the other day that his vocabulary will be
Yes.
quite odd, unusual for for English as a second language speaker. So will yours.
I really like Sergi's accent. I want to call weighted normals now because he calls them weighted normals.
Okay, haven't noticed.
Oh, okay. He does. And I think it's that not the Spanish thing, it's the Castellan thing, because they use the TH a lot, in Ibiza and Barcelona, where you might normally say, something else.
Maybe you
Just
could ask him, he's right
interesting,
behind you.
True. No, don't want to drag him out of flow. You keep telling me I'm dragging people out of flow, so I'm being good today. I'm not dragging everybody out of flow. Flow is very important.
Yeah. and just show like those already finished the basic joints skeleton.
Oh, I
for
didn't
the
see you duplicate
crossbow.
it on the other side, but
Yeah, it's mirrored.
Yep.
Anyway, that's another important thing is after you set all the joints, you have to, especially for the curve joints part, you need to orient the joints because we need to the axis to point to the next level joint.
oh, okay. And this hasn't necessarily been done, so you might have, orientations might be all over the place. And if
Yes.
you're trying to adjust the Z, then one might go up and one might go in.
Yes, it is. I didn't mention that when we do the human rig for the zombie. It's because the human can have their own ultimately to put all those access. So, but for the crossbow, it's all made by hand. So.
So what do they
kind of
do
like
with
necessary.
the human IK rig?
Human
Is that
IK is
is that all
like
oriented by
Yes.
the world coordinates?
They have just like a human rig sample. So you just need to import them and then put the joints to the right place.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think I'm doing all what I'm doing. I'm set the controller to the skeleton.
Very good. It's weird talking about skeletons and skins when it's actually a hard body model instead of an organic model, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. So yeah, we can see the
I think
detailing of the mechanism here, how it's all going to work together.
also for this one is for me is also a good step to do some free rig for the hard body mesh. It's kind of fun, and actually I also did some mistakes or found some after I finished the first rig, I just realized something not good, so I need to re-rig again. It's like when this model, after I set all the rig, and I found the string. Actually, if I push the string to the relax, just like a straight line to the front, and actually the ball is too flat. So I just changed my idea to modify the model for just for the string part. You will see it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course, because that string, I guess that string you expect the string not to change size.
Yes.
When you're actually firing a crossbow, and that all that
Yeah.
extra length that it's got is entirely in the curve of the bow.
Yeah.
But if you flatten that bow right out, it might look
Yes.
really strange.
Yeah. But I'm really like to do some like different shape of the curve to use them as a controller. You can say that big one. that's for the whole crossbow.
Okay.
If you select it and you can just move and rotate the crossbow. So we need just very easy to see and just know that's the main controller. Coffee time.
Yeah. I do wonder now every time I see a delay, okay, cups of tea, going to the toilet, talking to somebody. Get a lot of insight into workflow watching these things.
Yeah. Well, maybe workflow changes as a result of being observed.
So, well, we have no talking audience today. It's a shame I missed that. When they talk, it's good.
We have no talking hosts either.
No, true. We've just gone completely quiet.
So like this crossbow, I just said.
Oh, you've got a controller there to rotate the drum, I see. Is that right?
Yes. The one main controller is for the string in the middle of the string. So if you push the controller, you could move the string's position for the middle, and also for the trigger. And another one is the cylinder, and then for the each side for the bow tip, they have two different. Also have two controllers, but we are not moving it. We just need them to follow by controller constrained by the string controller.
Yeah. Hello to Cyber Aqua, who's just said nope to us when we were talking about not having anybody talking on the on the message.
That's the cube I just created to for me to use it as the controller. I was put just locate for the each way, but when I want to select all these controllers, because I want to easily select all the controllers, so it's easy for me to keyframe it. But if I just using the locator and the like nerve curves controller, it is hard to select them at the same time, so I just delete all the locator instead of those locators. I'm using some new curves controller, so just good for selector.
Okay. So there's so imagine when we actually fire the thing, is probably when we rotate the drum as well.
Yeah.
So that the next bolt moves into play. So
yeah,
firing would trigger it because you'd need some of the energy of the bow firing to actually rotate that drum.
Actually, I'm not going to do any rotate animation for the crossbow because it will hold by the arms in the game. So just need.
No.
But I still need to set the joint for it.
It's a one-handed weapon, so you're not holding it by the drum.
Yes, I understand.
So you should be able to rotate the drum.
Yes, but it will. It could just follow by the hand, by the arms. Just if you don't need to do the rotate. Which part are you meaning?
So that big drum underneath is where the bolts are.
Yes.
So when you fire the weapon, that should go.
Yes.
To load the next bolt in.
And I was thinking about should we just like do the load or the bullet part, because that cylinder will go out. I didn't do the animation, but I do set controller for that part.
Okay. Yeah, because I think what needs to actually happen is it needs to be part of the cycle of things. So the bow should shoot forwards, the drum should turn around, and the bow should be retracted back. Or maybe when the bow's being retracted back, the cylinder should rotate.
Yeah.
So
what a good thing to discuss beforehand.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I think there was some confusion this morning about whether this was a two-handed or one-handed weapon, and of course, if it was two-handed, your hand would be on that drum. So
it's.
I have a feeling that this points to some sort of gap in our documentation.
Probably, it's the difficulty is when everything's made up.
And I also
everybody's got their own idea of what the thing is. So.
Yeah, but we can't do that because that's just ad hoc and that could go on forever and cost a fortune.
And I'm doing after set all the rig, I'm doing the skin weight paint part. I'm not just directly paint the white and black for the skin width. I just select the part I want to focus and using the component editor to delete all other drawings value.
Yep.
So we can.
So things that are not going to be moving at all
Yes.
can be hidden, deleted, whatever, for the time being.
Yeah.
Yes, I disagree with you, by the way. I think that
What happens?
yeah, when we're doing things like the crossbow, everybody has a thing in their own mind about the way it's going to work. And when you get it to a certain stage, like where it is now, that is the time to have the arguments over, should it be two-handed, should it be one-handed? And it'll come down to what looks best, and essentially a vote between the guys, because I don't think anybody's authoritative on it. Since it didn't exist, there can't be anybody that's got the ultimate authority on what it is.
I don't think you're understanding what I mean. We haven't actually had an argument or a vote about it. It's just all been decided ad hoc as it's gone along. So nobody really quite knows, and there's no documentation about it.
Yeah, now it's time to.
Well, it gets done one way, and then everybody goes, or some people go, well, you know, I don't know that works right. But you can't really know ahead of time. So I think that sort of debate, when you get to a point on the quality of the thing, you know, how it's going to look, how it's going to feel, all the rest of it, I think that's productive. And I think that's where group creativity comes from, is those little tussles over the way you do these things.
I'm doing currently. I was creating the driving key. The driving key is the thing when you set up, and the driving will do some actions as followed the drivers. The driver for crossbow here is the middle string controller, because while the string is go backward and go to the front, and both sides for the bow tip, also for the curve, will have some shape change.
Yep.
So that's why I.
And that's what you're doing now. You're straightening out
key.
that bow
Yes.
to match with where the string's actually been relaxed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for this moment, I just realized
Yep.
it's really hard for me to make a flat curve for the bow. So I'm thinking maybe I need to make the bow go backwards more than go to the front. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
So that's the
So
problem.
yeah, we can see that
I
we can
face.
see the struggle there in trying to straighten that bow out,
Yeah.
and you can't make the string. You know, there's no more relaxed position than a straight string. So
Yes.
yeah, I can see the trickiness. And again, not something you can really anticipate till you've actually got it in your hand to look at and try.
Yeah, just save for another copy and think about if I need to do some change. Also for this part, I was creating the IK in the wrong joint. It should be just on the side, but I click to the middle, so so the middle will just follow the action. So it's wrong, so I will fix that.
Yep. Have you just noticed this mistake now, so you have to go back and do it again?
Yes. But the important thing is I found I need to change the model.
So this is a great way to actually review your work, really, is to see it at high speed and go, ooh, that's not right.
I think the point was that she saw it before this was high speed while she was actually working on it.
We want to show this is because our work is not always perfect, so the most of time is just kind of like find the problem, go back and solve it. Yeah. Luckily, sometimes we just need to do once again, but for some, unfortunately, time or moments you maybe need to 2 or 3 more times. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's painful.
Just like a very interesting thing is when I do the animation for the King Leon, I found a very fun thing is when I constrain the another arm for to make it follow by the right hand. Actually, in the office it looks good, but when I open the file at home because I want to show to my husband, and just the arm totally drop on the floor. It's like
Fantastic.
it's like my computer just hate me to do the work at home.
Very probably.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So does your husband like seeing the work you do during the day? Does he get a kick out of it?
I just show him. Sometimes we just camera some animation and send to him to view, and he just said, "Zombie again."
Yes, we haven't quite finished with zombies yet.
He actually don't like the horrible images.
But you show him anyway, right?
Yes, always be me to watch some horrible movie or just like violence movies. But
We have to give you more llamas so you can show Frank.
yeah, he's quite really like that llama. Yeah, sometimes I want him to watch the like the some very bloody or violent movie with me. It was no. I prefer peace.
So you're the die-hard girl and he likes the
What's the
the
what?
quieter family movies.
Yeah, he like gentle one.
So does he actually watch your Twitch stream when you're streaming?
Yeah, sometimes.
No, very good. So we do have a viewer then from time to time.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? It's nice to know.
Yeah, doing the model change part to make the string straight in the model. Yeah, just change for this part because it's easy for me to rig and do the animation.
So yeah, there's only so much interesting you can say about the string, right?
Yeah.
What part is this?
String, the side view. They are not in the same level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the lower part is the tip of the each left and the right side, and the higher part is actually in the middle.
Okay.
Oh no. I confused. Maybe the opposite way.
Maybe the opposite? Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't even work out what it was for a second. So do you prefer doing these animations, these hard body animations, or do you like the character animations?
I like both.
You do? Okay.
That's lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. And working from mocap or making it up yourself, which is like your llama, for example. We never had mocap because we couldn't get a llama on the treadmill,
Yeah.
especially not doing the prancy toe thing.
Yeah, that's all by the imagination.
Yeah. Do you prefer that, or do you
Yes.
actually like working to reference?
It's just depends what kind of character. I also like if we have some footage and we can make very realistic animation, just
Mhm.
like those like dog head and cat head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were great.
they were.
Those guys are coming back in next Monday.
Oh,
Yeah.
the one.
So we're going to have a talk to them about further uses for their Snappadoodle
That's good.
project.
Mhm.
Yeah. I did like the Snappadoodle project. I thought that was marvellous.
I'm
the
quite
cats and
like
dog heads.
like those animals can just open the mouth
Yeah.
as you speak.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that
lip
was really
syncing, that
cool.
was good.
Yes.
That was really good. Yeah, they're great digital puppets, those things. Yeah. Oh, what would you say if I said I'd found the texture for the llama?
I haven't checked all the.
I found some files the other day and that the texture might be in because it was when Gareth made the movie. And there's Maya files there, so I think he might have had the Maya file of the llama
Okay.
and the textures. So
I hope so.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you might actually be able to reproduce
That's good.
Larry the llama. Oh, he's not Larry the llama because that's another llama, isn't he? That's the llama that eats humans.
No idea. No, that's Carl.
Oh, it's Carl. Yeah, Carl.
But anyway, we've digressed into things that nobody knows anything about who's watching.
Everybody knows Carl the llama.
Not that.
All right,
Yeah.
a little off topic, you think?
Go back to the rig.
Yeah.
We after we set all the drawings, we actually create two parts of. Actually, it's 4 parts. It's like 2 for each side. Using the IK, just simple IK for the first part is the bow for 4 joints, and another part is from the bow tip to the string center. So it's just using IK to control it. Actually, that cube I was set for the IKs. That controller, cube controller is control the IK, and the IKs are control all the bones here.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's a perfect position.
Yeah. So that's the cube for drawing back the string,
Yeah.
and that draws back, and that changes the bow now
Yes.
as well. So that is quite cool. I really love this rigging.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
I must learn something about it someday.
also for the humans, or not even for human, also for the hard body like weapons, it's good to put to make the model as a just relaxing moment, just like the ball is not just pull them in the back, just like it's kind of like you just put the weapon on the table and it should be like that. That's the natural moment.
Okay, so that's its natural pose there.
Yes.
So how
Also
it's sitting
like-
uncocked and yeah.
Yes, also like the human or animals, they just need to stand here and no big facial movements on the face. Yeah.
They stand usually in the most unnatural pose. They're standing with their arms spread in the
Yeah.
T pose,
Yes.
or occasionally Y pose. Hey, why do people use Y pose instead of T pose? Is it just a matter of preference, or?
Yeah. Actually, if you have some character, they are not like raising the arms very high. People just prefer the A pose because they just need to move on the lower position.
Okay.
But if you like need to wave your arm in a big
Okay.
movement,
So a guy
it's
with a lot of armour where he can't actually raise his arms up that high,
Yeah, yeah.
you'd probably just pose
just
in.
like A pose, actually you keep the
Is that called A pose? I thought it was called Y pose for some reason.
one is A, one is T.
Okay.
Yeah,
A,
P pose
okay.
and A pose. Maybe different names, I don't know.
No.
I'm sure that's right. It makes
Yeah, because
sense.
like the A pose is just like naturally standing and keep the shoulder looks natural,
Okay.
and just like if you keep the pose like that, and if you put your arm lower, and this part when you're painting the skin weight, it will cause some shape changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but for the T pose, it's easy for the artist to paint the textures because they are not hiding any part.
Okay. So Cyber Aqua says, what other weapons will we be seeing in the future? I think this is the one with the most animation in it. There is a pistol, but I think the pistol's just got cocking and recoil. There's not much to it, really.
Yes, it's very easy.
Yeah. There might also be a cylinder spin. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but you could see the model creating movie.
Yeah. So yeah, there'll be a movie for that.
Yeah.
There's also a grenade launcher. So that's the 3 standard weapons in the game. So a silent one, a loud but accurate one, and a area effect weapon, the grenade launcher, which should be hilarious because, as has been pointed out, caves can be notoriously tricky to try and fire something that needs a trajectory, that sort of trajectory where it's going to rise and fall, because caves can have low roofs and stuff like that, so you might just blow yourself up a few times trying to use it. We'll try and make that an eventuality in some cases. Oh, was that the cube controller that suddenly got very large?
Yeah. Because I hide the model.
Okay. Okay, so now we're starting to get the proper deformation of the bow happening.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. I'm really looking forward to seeing this thing in action. Still not sure if we should be showing the bolts in flight or not. I guess maybe a few frames. But we definitely have to make sure they stick in the zombies so that you can see them.
Yeah. And I'm just bring the reference for the first rig I made because I don't want to edit the weight, skin weight for the new one again. So I just import the old one and just need to copy the skin weight for the new rig.
Okay.
So it just saves the time. Yeah, just need to keep the name the same and select each for the 2 pair of the mesh and copy the skin weight.
Okay. Yes, aha, let's put in a grenade launcher for the heck of it. Pretty much so. So the grenade launcher, I mean, it will be effective. You will be able to launch a grenade into a heap of zombies, but you will have to be very careful how you use it because low cave ceilings and zombies getting too close to you when you actually launch it so that you hit them and the grenade bounces back at you. All that sort of stuff is part of the fun of using grenades. Part of the frustration and fun of using grenades. Can't tell you how many times I've blown myself up in Far Cry.
It does sound like fun.
Yeah. I've gone ka-tunk and I've hit the edge of a doorway or something and it's bounced back at my feet. You just get time to go, oh,
We should add some like ew sound. Oops.
I'm imagining death should be pretty bloody. Oh, in VR I guess you've just got to fade out because you can't really collapse to the floor, otherwise people will fall over.
Yeah.
We can.
As we discovered when we had a guest once doing the archery. Do you remember that?
I do remember
Stepped off
that.
the castle wall and fell over.
Yeah, that was quite a thing.
Yeah,
He did hurt himself.
he did hurt himself. So, not nice of me to laugh now. Really.
He's still a friend.
He is. But yeah, no, I remember he sent pictures of his huge bruises that he got. But yeah. VR is dangerous, boys and girls. Don't do it at home. No. You can do it at home. We want you to do it at home so you can buy this game and enjoy the VR version. Yeah. So what are we doing now, Linda? I'm waffling here.
To aid the skiing weight for the stream
Mhm.
because the shape are different, so I couldn't cop the same skiing weight for the whole part. So I just need to
Oh yes.
to fix that middle one. Yep. Pull back. That's good sound effect.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do all the Foley for the game, but just with mouth effects. I don't even know how I did that. That was amazing.
It was unpleasant. Not sure if anybody would have heard that, but somebody
It's-
just died in the corridor.
It did sound like somebody went down heavy in the corridor. So, there's a thing when the door's shut, you don't know if there's a shooting going on or
Well, we probably would have heard a bang.
somebody going postal out there. It sounds big.
What the fuck was that?
Lincoln? Moving
Throw it.
furniture. Alright, so they're moving furniture. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but they're moving furniture in the corridor. It went too quiet for a few seconds. Everyone's so focused on the video. Yeah, sorry for that. It is the number one sin of Twitchers is to basically go quiet. I did watch a very good video on how to actually do a Twitch stream, and yeah, dead air is not something you want. You want people to keep talking, waffling,
Right, let's move on and talk about the crossbow then.
covering for Linda who's not talking, so I just talk.
Yes, that's drive K again. Yeah, this one is I have already fixed all the IK parts, and I think this one is the final step for the controller setting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
I just realised we're doing this whole stream wireless because the network's not plugged in at that end. Glad we're getting such quality out of it. Yeah. So what? Well, that's a bit odd. It's out on one side, not the other.
yeah. We just step by step, not at the same time for the both sides.
Oh, okay. So do you reflect this to the other side once you've done it, or do you actually have to do it manually on the other side once you've
Manually.
manually?
Yeah.
Well, that's a bit of a pain in the backside.
That's fine because just two different controller for each other, each side. It's
Mhm.
not a very it's not like the fingers for each side, so it's okay for me.
Okay.
So the second pose is when we set the drawing key, we actually will key make the pose, like two different from pose A to pose B. And one is when we set the start pose, and then we put the string controller backward and to the max moment. Then we put the bows to the right position for each side.
Yeah.
So we
I can see you operating them both together there, so you can
yes.
see.
So we set all the driving key for the two part.
Yeah. I was going to say, it does look like the right-hand side is actually a bit higher and a bit further out than the left-hand side.
Yeah, make them just same level.
Now, I'm surprised you can't just reflect that so that they would be in exactly the same spot but on opposite sides. That would be good. See, that's something we might need a tool for. Somebody should write a Maya plugin to actually help you do that. How often does that sort of thing happen where you've got to manually configure two sides to be exactly the same?
Not quite often. Just like those weapons, both sides are moving exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But for the humans or zombies, they just not like the both sides do exactly the same thing. So so it's not quite often.
Alright, so I can see it's slowly coming together. I can sort of see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so even smoothing the animation curves on both sides. So I guess if you go through this process, it's never going to be perfect, will it? You'll never actually have them exactly the same on both sides.
Yes.
How very strange. So, well, the end result looks pretty good, so you must have done not a bad job by Eye of actually sorting this out. Dee, aren't you more impressed now that you've actually seen that this is a manual job, doing that, reflecting that bend in the bow from one side to the other?
To be fair, I hadn't really thought about it, but it is awfully good.
I'm impressed. Yes, we have gone quiet. It has been commented on by the audience that we've gone too quiet.
And yet,
well, tell us something, Margaret. What do you think of the movie so far?
I actually reset the driving key is because in the first time I set for three different poses. It just makes the when they do the middle animation, it looks weird. Maybe it's because they curve, so I just delete all the driving key I set, and I just focus on set on two different pose. So
Okay.
it looks more.
Well, there's less mistakes that way, isn't there?
Yes, it looks more natural
Yeah.
than before. So,
Yeah.
so it's just need to create. It's better to just create two different keys for the driving key, and then we could move to the other part.
So lots of practice here, yeah. I suppose you must have to do that though after you've spent hours trying to get it right. Actually playing with it must be a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
A little bit of reward for all the pain.
Yeah.
So do you like the prongs that stick out the front? so you can poke people in the eyes if they get too close.
And for this one, it's rotate for the
For the trigger.
and the cylinder.
All quiet again.
And I think I'm.
We should give you first go of killing a zombie with this.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do the animation thing, or
Oh, okay.
I'm going to set another controller for the cylinder part. Can't remember if I record that part.
Okay. So, yeah, I didn't think you'd actually rotated the cylinder at this point.
But I will rotate it when we do the animation.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to change the color for those controllers, but actually I couldn't find where to change the colors. That's a shame.
Yeah. How would it have helped if you could change the colours?
Yes, I could create a layer and change the layers color. So, but I don't want to create more layers for the scene.
Okay.
So a question for Linda. If
Yes.
someone like me wanted to learn 3D modelling and animating, where is the best place to start?
Search some free basic videos from like my or to the Autodesk, right?
Autodesk, yeah?
Yes, and also there always be a good place to learn is YouTube. You could find plenty of free videos here, and also you could go to some like animation, just like a technology school or art school to choose some course.
Do you have one to recommend in Christchurch?
Christchurch is LB school, or I still couldn't remember the new name for the CPI.
Ara.
Ara. Yeah. That's Maori name, right?
Is it?
I think it stands for something, but I think it stands for a name that is Maori. I think it's the first initials of, but I'll.
Okay. Oh, did I see a drum rotate there? Yeah. So, Ubi or Ara, both have courses.
Yes.
I could be wrong about that.
So you came from Natcol, didn't you? And which one's Natcol?
Natcol is UB was called Natcol.
Okay.
Where I was studying there.
All right. So so Linda trained at what is now UB,
Yes.
and she came and she banged on the door and she wouldn't go away until we gave her a job. So.
Not that everybody should do that.
Yeah.
No, Ara is the Maori word for path or journey. You're right.
Ah.
Really? Where did you see that?
I just Googled it.
Right. So I thought it came up in a message. And my message hasn't come up. Path or journey is Ara. Oh, that's an interesting name
Interesting
then. I
to
hadn't,
know.
Yeah.
hadn't ever considered it.
Yeah, we are doing the animation now.
Yeah. No, I remember that. She came to the door with her CV, wanted to be an animator, and we said, but we're a bakery. But eventually we had to become a game studio just so we could give Linda a job as an animator.
That's not what happened.
Interesting story.
Yeah.
I know. That would make an incredibly interesting story, actually. How two bakers became a games company.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have had fun. Well, you're all gluten free, and so bakery would have been just horrible.
See. Well, I didn't have to eat everything.
For the very quick speed, it's hardly to see the very slightly like.
All right, let's
Like
slow it down.
bouncing.
Let's slow it down.
Or we could slow down. Wow.
So we can slow it down and start it again.
Yeah.
Let's step back a bit.
That's very good, useful. That's
How's that?
very useful to play slow motion for this.
Does that look better?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're nearly at the end. And now I can speed it back up again if you've... Oh, right. We'll wait, we'll show some more. Probably slowed it down too much now.
Yes. Yeah, maybe halfway is enough. Yeah, that's good. See?
Yeah. Alright.
I'm still testing the bouncing just after one shot, and the string will bouncing like front and back.
Does it look powerful enough? Oh, there's the bolt. Oh, cool. Yes, anxious to see this bolt get shot out. Sergi did a nice job on the bolts. Did you ever see the final product?
You mean his metal stick?
Yeah. I think they look quite classy as far as bolts go. They're not just a piece of wood there. Ah, there it goes. Off to put a hole in a zombie.
Need a blowpipe.
In the game?
Yeah. Blow little poison darts.
You know, I've always thought that's a weapon that probably does as much harm to the user as the target. Just, I've seen all those things like on Get Smart and all the rest of it, where the guy goes to blow and he goes, ooh. He swallows the dart.
It's hardly
watched
to
too much
see
TV.
the
Yeah.
animation part for the cylinder and the trigger,
Mm-hmm.
but they also animating and do the movement. Just firstly
Yes,
the
I get this.
trigger go
Sorry.
back, and
No, I'm
then
not.
the cylinder is rotating at the same time the ball is go to the front.
Okay.
Fix the skin weight part. That is, it's those.
Yeah, because those
parts-
things don't change
Yes.
in response to the... So, well, this is yeah, quite detailed here, because in fact you're never going to actually see the front of the bow as you fire it,
Yes.
not unless you've managed to turn it round and fire it at yourself.
But you can see it.
Oh, there is a little bounce when it gets to the end of its travel, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that. And there goes the bolt shooting off in the distance. Probably too small for the audience to actually see that. little blue streak disappearing into the distance. No, that's absolutely marvellous. I wonder how far we can see that for, because of course you could be quite close to a zombie when you fire it. Maybe it goes through if you're close enough. It's just a little flicker. Here goes a bolt. Oh, I can probably speed the movie up again now. Now that we've seen it a few times. Watch it firing. Look at it shooting bolts out all over the place. Oh, I just saw the little bounce there when you were doing it slowly.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much difference those things make, the little reactions to things as they happen. So it doesn't just travel to its end and stop, but there's a little bit of bounce just to show you the way physics would actually work, a little bit of momentum that gets conserved and transferred.
Yes. Also, for the pull the string back, when you pull the string back, so the distance more far away, and the power for and also the timing for the pull back time just slow down, because it's when you pull the string back, it will turn to very hard to pull it. So I'm just fix this timing for that part
Okay.
to aid the animation curve.
All right, so some polish going on there. But this is pretty much the end of the movie, isn't it, where we've
Yes.
actually got to? And we are at the end of our time. Of course, we decide when our time is, so we're not really at the end of our time. We're at the end of our time when we actually want to keep doing this, so we're stopping now.
Okay.
Is that necessary to explain it?
1 hour every day, yeah. And occasionally a few minutes over, just to wrap up. So it's Brook and Linda and Margaret from Stickmen Media, finishing up our stream on rigging and animating the crossbow in After the Light, our zombie horror game. Thanks for being with us today. We will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time, 1 a.m. UTC. So UTC plus 12 is the difference in our time zone. So come along tomorrow and we'll have something else. I still don't know what, but there'll be something else tomorrow. So bye for now, everybody. Cheers.